Well, but actually, I was actually just raising my hand to speak to the motion. I don't intend to support it, so it wouldn't be wise of me to second it.
Oh, okay. Okay. All
Sorry
right.
about the confusion.
That's okay. Okay. The motion is out there. Speakers to the motion then. It was seconded then by Trustee Rye. Trustee White.
Yeah, I just want to say that I will be voting against the motion, and it's purely not because of the items on the agenda, but because of the forum here, as we're taking extraordinary pandemic era precautions for something that I just disagree with, and so I'm going to voice my disagreement through my vote. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you.
The recommended changes are outlined under 2.2, which is the order of the agenda, which I believe is mostly housekeeping. 1.2, which clarifies process on question period. And I believe those are the extent of the recommendations at this stage.
May I open?
Yes, you may.
Thank you. I just want to, as you know, we've had some circumstances arising in the past where we've had a difficult time with questions being related to the specifics of the agenda, the business of the agenda. And in review of other board policies around the province, we are one of the holdouts who has not been accepting simply questions in writing. And I would like to see us move in that direction. I think that puts us in alignment with other boards and other districts who have done this very thing. Thank you.
Thank you for that. Trustee White.
Before I make my comments, I just want to, for the public's edification, to clarify that the fact that this is coming to the public meeting doesn't necessarily imply that the policy committee, which is 3 of the board members, agrees with it. It just means the policy committee thinks that it should come toward the board, and it's ultimately our job to decide what happens. There's not really a recommendation there. It's coming to the board now. So this is our time to discuss it, and which is why when we had policy committee, I didn't say anything. I'm saving my comments for tonight because I think that's the time when we should be talking about it in the public. So my concern with this in particular is that it seems to put a little bit more control in our court. In terms of, what people say and don't say. And I just think that I don't think we need to, like, sometimes people come up and they say things that make us uncomfortable. And sometimes people don't stay on task, and sometimes people, make comments. But in the scheme of the 3 years I've been on the school board, that's not really a problem. There's been, I don't know, maybe a half a dozen people in 6 years that have come up to the mic and done anything else other than maybe just ask a simple question. So I don't see that this policy is solving a real problem. I think that it's easy for us to be uncomfortable. It's easy for us to, when people come up to the mic and maybe, their tone isn't what we would like it to be. But I guess that's where I think this is not in line with where I would like to see us going. Like, I wish we had more question period time. I wish we had open mics. Like, I wish there was real dialogue with the public. And that's not where this board has landed at this point in terms of its public meetings. I wish there wasn't a policy that said it had to be on the agenda. I just wish, people at their own leisure could come to a meeting and ask the questions that are important to them. So I feel like in terms of engagement in the public meeting, this is a step in the opposite direction, and I'm not sure what problem this solves. So I am, very concerned about the direction that we are going with this policy change, because I think the way we're doing things are fine, and I would want to open it up, not even close it up more. So that's my concern. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. All right. Trustee Kanda-rajwan.
Thank you, Chair Peterson. We had this conversation last week too, and I echo with Trustee Wilson about, I like the idea of aligning with what other districts are doing. yes, in some ways it probably, this conversation came up in the last couple of meetings, but at the same time, I like the idea of aligning what are other districts doing and having it in writing just makes more sense to me. So I'd like to follow that direction.
Thank you. Trustee Roach.
Yeah, I have a fair bit of concern with this one as well. It's already very intimidating for people coming to our meetings to ask a question. I've heard that from numerous people. So I think if we want to make it easier to engage with the public, then we wouldn't require it to be in writing. I also think because there are so many different languages spoken in our district, putting it in writing makes it that much harder and more intimidating for folks as well. So I favor the idea of being more open and just managing the decorum. If people are asking questions verbally in a way that isn't polite or respectful, then we can deal with that in other ways. But I'd like to keep it open. Thanks.
Process as it's envisioned right now is that we would receive written. We currently already receive online during meetings, and so I would imagine that would continue. The intent of the change, as recommended by the policy committee, would be that the secretary treasurer would receive the written questions. I would read them out to the board for the benefit of the board chair, and it would be the board chair's determination if they were in order and whatever next steps would come from that.
Thank you for that. Trustee Rye.
Thank you, Chair Peterson. I would concur with Trustee Wilson and Trustee Kanda-rajwan that as we've seen in the last few meetings, there has been rude comments made towards the chair, rude comments made towards the staff, and it's not a good thing. So I know some of the trustees say that that's part of the game, and it should be okay to make, because some people do get offline. And the thing is, if they are intimidated of asking a question, writing out a question is much more easier than speaking it out, because you just write it out, give it to the staff, and it'll be read there. You don't have to speak, you don't have to do anything. So I would encourage us to approve this.
All right. Trustee Roach, I'm going to let you be the final comment.
Yeah, thank you. I'm just curious, just to understand the envisioned process a little bit better. So if someone comes to our meeting because they're interested, say, in a topic on the agenda, and then they have a clarification question that they have during the course of the meeting, how do you envision them writing down their question and then submitting it?
Maybe I might answer that. I think in discussion with the policy committee that we would have some forms available. We would give some time at the end of the meeting, if required, for writing down questions, and they would be handed to the secretary treasurer, who would read them out, and the chair would decide whether they're appropriate for comment or answers, and we'd move on from there.
Okay, thank you.
And maybe I'll just add my comment, and then I will support this amendment or this policy as presented. I would like to think that if in fact it will encourage more people to ask questions about our agenda. It's much easier to write something down than to stand up and say it, and I think it might eliminate some of the angst and so on, and decorum issues that have presented a problem for some of us. I think it'll take that away, and these good folks can still ask their questions. All right, I know.
Sorry, Chair, just we do have a hand up.
Okay, were you the mover?
I was the mover.
Okay, then you get the last. Yes, thank you.
The last word. Thank you. I just want to express appreciation to everyone for their comments. I understand and recognize some of the challenges that have been raised by some folks, but also recognize and actually agree with Chair Peterson that it may actually open up more opportunity for people to present questions. I also just want to acknowledge that in the way that our policy was written, we don't even take questions online at all. And actually we've been asking for that, but that's outside of policy. So it's kind of interesting, but I just want to thank everyone. I'm done.
Okay.
Thanks.
So I'm going to ask for the vote then. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. The vote is open for trustees.
Thank you very much. How are we doing? Has everybody got buttons?
My buttons are not working.
Okay, Trustee Kanda-rajwan, if you'd like to let me know what you want to vote.
I'm in favor, please.
I'm recording Trustee Kanda-rajwan as a yes, and Chair, I'm happy to say that motion passed.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for that.